Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we will be painting this landscape. It's pretty simple, but I kind of like how it turned out. So first I sketched the scenery out, which is pretty simple, like a highway in the middle and trees lining along the side of it in raw sienna. So for the trees, I also marked the area where I'll be painting it dark and lighter shades of brown. Once that is done, we're going to map out the painting, and I'm going to start with the sky first. So I wanted something that looks a little bit gloomy, almost like a moody fall. So I'm painting the sky. I'm going to be mixing turquoise with raw sienna and also gray mid. So for the trees, I'm going to start from the bottom, which is the darkest color. I'm going to be mixing Van Dyck brown with Payne's gray, and I'm just kind of like following out where I marked it earlier. And then I'm going to move on to raw umber mixed with a little bit of burnt sienna to get that fall shade. And I'm going to just kind of like blend it in, but I'm just doing it very roughly right now. And on the top, I'm going to be mixing olive green and deep gray. So for the trees on the right side, it's going to be slightly darker. We start the same shade, Van Dyck brown, with Payne's gray at the bottom, and then on the top we slowly transition to raw umber with burnt sienna, but instead of adding gray and olive green on top, we're just going to end it here with burnt sienna. So the color theme for this is going to be similar. So for the highway, for the road, we're going to be using gray deep mixed with just a little bit of raw sienna. So now that the first layer is done and I've kind of like mapped out all the colors, we're going to be repainting the second layer. So I usually like to map out my colors first, so it gives me a little bit of flexibility in case I want to change things. Like for instance, the sky here, I wanted to transition from a light to dark, from left to right. So on the left side, I'm going to add a little bit of pale gray to the original mix of colors, which are turquoise mixed with raw sienna and a little bit of gray mid. So I'm going to add a little bit more pale gray on the left side and slowly transition it to the original color on the right and blend it in the middle. Then I'm going to move on to the trees, but this time we're going to start from top lightest to bottom darkest. So we start with olive green mixed with deep gray, then slowly transition to raw sienna, and then at the bottom burnt sienna, then Van Dyck brown mixed with Payne's gray. So for this piece, I would say that the trees were actually the hardest to paint because as of right now, I wasn't very satisfied with it. It looks a little bit like a layered cake, and it didn't seem very natural, so I will continue to work on that for the third layer. But right now I just want to solidify the colors and then just add the second layer and slowly go one shade darker, and then I can step back, let the paint dry, and continue to work on it for the third layer. So on the right side, colors are pretty much the same. I just add a little bit more raw sienna to lighten it up on the top part. But overall, I'm quite satisfied with the shape of the trees on the right. So what I did was I went back to the trees on the left and I kind of like gave it a little bit more bumps. So it looks a bit more natural instead of the sharp triangle downwards. So I continued to kind of paint the color of the sky and shape it a little bit. And I think it looks a lot more natural right now. Then I continue to work on the highway, on the road, with deep gray and raw sienna. So now that the second layer is done, I'm going to go and continue to work on the third layer. Now you must be wondering why so many layers, but personally, like I said, I like the flexibility of it. Like the first layer is just watered down paint, easy to glide across the canvas to mark it out. And the second layer is to really solidify the colors, and the third layer is to do all the touch-ups and to smoothen out the paint, and also I can add more contrast to the colors. Like for example on the sky here, I add more pale gray on the left, and then now you can see the color is a little bit more obvious, the change of the sky, and then I blend it in the middle. And then right now I'm going to work on the trees, which was giving me a fair bit of problems earlier. So how you work your brush strokes also makes a difference. So for this one, I'm using a square brush, and I want to kind of get the shapes in for the leaves or the top part of the trees, and I'm also going to blend it. For example, right here, I want to soften it. So I'm going to mix the color of the sky with the freshly painted coat of paint. So while it's wet, it's much easier to blend. And I'm going to soften it by blending it both the top part of the trees with the sky, and then you kind of get this more blurred out effect. And as I mentioned earlier, your brush strokes make a difference as well. So I'm using the brush in a way I'm just kind of making short strokes downwards. So I'm just pressing the paintbrush and I'm just dragging the paint downwards in short or small motions. So this helps to give it a little bit of texture so it doesn't look so bland. Like earlier, it just looks like a layered cake. And I'm also kind of painting it in a sense it's a little bit more jagged and choppier to make the trees look a little bit more natural as I go layer by layer from light to dark. And for each layer, as I transition to a different color below, I also add a little bit of deep gray, so it makes it a lot smoother and less choppy for each color transition. So I continue to use the same brush strokes, just pressing the paint and dragging it downwards and adding a little bit of gray to smoothen it out for the trees here. And at the bottom, I want a little bit more contrast, so I'm just adding more Payne's gray to darken it. And I'm so much happier with the way this turned out compared to the first and second layer. So this is also why I prefer to go layer by layer. It gives me a lot more space and freedom to change things up, and if I don't like it, then I can always just paint over it. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for trees on the right. So I start with the top layer, but I add a little bit of gray to my burnt sienna. And then I'm also going to do the same thing around the edges of the trees. I'm going to blend the color of the sky, and I'm going to soften it by mixing it with the color of the trees, that bit of gray and burnt sienna. And I'm going to use a brush to blend both the colors of the sky and the tree until it becomes one gradient and all the sharp edges are gone to get that blurry effect. So once that's done, I'm going to use the same brush strokes by dragging the paintbrush downwards in these short motions. Onto the road, I wanted to darken it a little bit, so I add a bit of Payne's gray to the original colors, which were deep gray and raw sienna. And I think the color of the road looks a lot more well blended with the trees now that I've darkened it. So I continue to just paint the road and cover the whole third layer and smoothen it out by blending it. And I just drag the paint downwards from the top of the highway to the bottom of the canvas. At the top of the road, I want to blend it with the sky to soften it as well. So I'm going to mix a bit of turquoise and deep gray. And also at the sides of the road, I want to blend it into the trees, so I add a bit more Payne's gray and deep gray, which is the color of the road, and I blend it until it all becomes one gradient. And the next step would be to add markings on the road. So on the outer side of the road, I'm going to draw a line downwards in raw sienna. Once I've marked it out, I'm going to thicken the lines by going over it again. I'm using a size 000 brush for this, and once that is done, I want to soften it so it doesn't look as jarring because everything else is sort of blurred out. So I paint a little bit of deep gray over it while the paint is still wet, so this will help to soften sharp lines. And I'm going to do the same for these white markings on the road. I'm using pale gray mixed with deep gray because white, pure white would look a bit too striking for this. So while the paint is still wet, I'm going to go over the second layer the same way we did for the yellow lines. I'm going to kind of glaze a thin layer of gray over it so it looks a little bit more subtle. So why I'm doing this is because I want the whole background to be soft, and now we're going to brighten it up in the middle by adding lights. So these are going to be car lights. So on the left side it's going to be the headlights. I'm going to be painting them in Naples yellow. So I start with the far end of the road and I slowly kind of paint the lights coming forward, and a row of lights in the middle I add a bit of orange yellow and titanium white. Once I've marked out my bokeh lights from the cars, I'm going to paint them with a second layer, and I'm also going to soften it by painting gray, deep gray around the lights, and I'm going to blend it in to kind of do the same thing as we did with the markings on the road. This will help to soften these lights, and after this layer, once we have grayed it out or blended it, we're going to paint over them with the second layer of bokeh lights. But instead of painting directly over it, we're just going to scatter a few lights over what we've blurred out earlier, and this will give the illusion of sparkling lights. The second layer of bokeh lights will just stand out a lot more, and it also kind of adds a layer of depth to these lights. So the colors I'm using for the second layer are orange yellow, Naples yellow, titanium white, and yellow mid. So the lights on the right side will be brake lights, so we're going to be painting them in red, but it's going to be a bit more subtle with just 3 lights, so we don't have to do a whole blurring process. I mix scarlet with rose red, and for the final step, as my favorite part, we're going to draw a poppy, and we're going to be painting this poppy on the side of the road. I tried to get a close-up shot, but unfortunately my hand was blocking pretty much the whole way, so I'm just going to explain the colors. I use rose red and I mix it with Prussian blue for the darker shades, and I kind of like add a gradient from dark to light in the middle, and towards the top part I use vermilion and I mix a little bit of orange red to give it that pop, and in the middle I add a few dots in yellow mid. For the stem, it's quite simple. I'm sticking to the color theme, so I'm using olive green to draw the stem, and I add a little bit of shading with Mitis green. And this painting is done. I actually really liked how it turned out, and I hope you find this tutorial useful. If you like this painting as much as I do, it's available for purchase on Etsy. Link is in description below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.